right, guys. Well, as I was doing with the last section here, I got the new brakes on, got new rotors. These ones are a lot better than what was in the car. As you can see, these ones were, a little dicked. So, but now here comes the awesome part. So as you can see, the hood's off. And I got some parts coming in. This bitch is getting a turbo finally. We got Hunter here helping me out with tearing this apart. We got to get, first my battery out. We got to get this out. We got to get the headers off. And once we get the headers off, we're going to start doing some welding, getting the turbo to fit in. The turbo is going to sit right around here. And I'm going to have to reroute my map so it goes to the intake area where it comes in closer to here versus on the opposite side. But she's coming along. We're going to hopefully have her turboed here the next couple weeks. And she'll be running fucking mint. I'm excited, dude. I've been waiting. I've been waiting 5 fucking years for this.
I know, because you've been looking at that turbo like a trophy for 2.
Exactly. So I'm ready. I'm ready. She's gonna have some fun. So we're gonna start taking apart this paneling here, taking the wipers off so we can get down to the headers. We're gonna take the intake off and get the battery out so we can start getting stuff ready to be routed. And she's gonna be ready to go. We're gonna get this. All right, I'll catch you when we get that off.
Because I'm starting. Maybe
we're getting there. We got cold air off. We're getting the shielding off. We're moving my wires. You have to. Did you get? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So everything's getting moved around. We're getting ready to take the headers off. All my parts are there. Hood's there. So we're almost there. I just got to get these bolts off, which if you want to hold that, so I can get the shield off of here. But, holy shit, that's a... I put this bolt in like 4 years ago. When I started this car. Goddamn. I think this was, other than the exhaust, this was my second modification to the car. The cold air. And then came the wing, and then came everything else, and then came my fuckery with this car as of right now.
I'm pretty sure your body kit came before the wing, or they came at the same time.
I had the wing on, and then I got these and this. Mm. Yeah. If this bolt breaks, I don't give a shit.
Well, we don't need the heat shielding anymore.
No, we're gonna make our own heat shielding for the turbo.
I wonder if we could just bolt and play with the air intake on my car. Free parts?
If the cold air fits on your car,
free parts?
You could take it for like $20. I bought it for like 120.
Well, you got your use out of it.
I got my use out of it. I'll only need the cone. You can take everything else there.
Who needs air filters anyway?
Like a fucking muscle car, just no filter, open carb.
Exactly.
Oh god. Why is this? This is either a really fucking long bolt. It's a really fucking long bolt.
It is. I thought it was gonna be spinning on the bottom when you were about to say that.
Wait, I think it is spinning on the bottom.
Jacob.
Let me feel this. Yeah, it's spinning on the bottom.
Get the fucking wrench. Oh, you do have the wrench.
Come on. Is that the right one? Please tell me that's the right one.
All right. Well, we'll get back to you guys in a little bit. We got some stuff to get fixed here, so we'll catch you later. So
we have the whole panel, wipers and everything off. We got the extra little brackets off because we found out the turbo fits better. But now we have the old headers there. These are going to get re-welded so that I can fit the turbo into here. Actually, if I want to bring the turbo over. So the turbo is going to sit right around there. And that's going to allow us to route everything where it needs to be.
Well, it needs to turn a little bit. Here we go.
That's how it's going to sit. A little lower. Right about there is where it's going to sit. It's going to be different when I get the pipes mocked up, but that's the general synopsis is going to sit right there. And so now our goal, since we have everything out here, is to get the exhaust taken off, those 2 bolts down there, and get the actual headers taken off of this vehicle so we can continue go from there. All right, step 1. We got those off. So now, since we're here, we're moving off to the head studs. We got one off. Getting this next one off. Yeah, we're almost there.
Slowly.
So we have a few more left to go on here.
Long handle ratchet.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Here's this hammer here. There's 2 sides. One's a little harder than the other. That's a hard one.
All right. Sweet. So we're going to get these off, and I'll catch you guys when we get the headers out.
Hey!
Well, this is a new face on the channel. This is my buddy that I've known since high school. He has his own channel.
It's more for gaming though. It's Von Paladin. VAAN, then Paladin.
So he's getting into some of this shit. So
Trying to.
I am helping him along the way of saying fuck everything and starting to cut. No, we're not cutting anything.
We're just gonna cut all the wires out and we're gonna make it fall off.
We just unbolted my shift linkage so we can get the headers out, which we're stuck again. This is a bitch.
It very much is.
We're so close, but yeah, so I'm teaching him in the ways of car language and showing him how things are. And since my car is torn apart, literally everything's taken off of this, the intake and the exhaust, everything's taken off. I figured this is a prime opportunity to show him how everything is, you know, throttle body, spark plugs, coil packs, injectors, intake manifold, all that good shit.
What I've learned, say fuck a lot and smack it with a hammer and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's how we got this over here. So, we're going to get to continuing on trying to get this out of here. We're so close. If I can get this out, then we can start marking everything up. Getting ready to install the turbo through welding some new piping. I got this piping on top of it so that this piping will go into here and that piping will come out the bottom. And so we're almost there. Once we get this out, we'll be all set. So I'll show you guys my headers once it's out of the car, and we'll go from there. Yeet. Well,
Fucker's out.
we got it! Yeah! So these are the unequals that my buddy made. So what he did is the stock exhaust was set up like how this is down here, right there. It was the same on the other side. So what my buddy had done is he connected these pipes here, did a Y pipe that rounds around the whole system, and then it connects back in where the old ones used to be. This is what made my car sound like a Subaru. And now it's going to make it turbo. So
Nice.
I'm going to have to weld here. If you hold this real quick, hold it just like that. I'm going to weld off of this side. So I'm going to cut this off so I can weld onto the pipe below here. Do the same kind of style bend here. Bend it around to come up to the front of the motor where my turbo is going to sit, and then come right back down to the pipe using this to connect back in down below. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but it's going to work. So that's going to call it for here for a minute. I'll get back to you tomorrow when I do this.
I'm gonna go crack him upside the head with a lightsaber.
Can I crack you upside the head with that?
Nah.
That hurts a little more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys again. That's not the end of this video, but tomorrow I'm going to continue working on this a little bit, starting to measure everything up. And that's just a layout of where this video is going to go. All right. Well, I got a lot more work done since the last one. We had cut this flange short so I can get the next pipe in. But as you can see, I was able to... This is not solidified yet. This is just to mark everything up. I got that angle to this angle, which leads to my 90 degree. And that brings me right down to where I need to go to hook it into the headers. I just need to do that part last. So now what I'm working on is off of this flange. I'm setting this up so I can get this piece in. And I got to do a little more grinding on this so I can bring this down a little bit. I'm almost there. But if I can get this piece in, I can then switch to this piping so I can bend it to what I need to so I can get it back down to the other end of the exhaust. Now when I get this done so I can just start working on the flex pipe, I'm going to then start routing my intercooler down through, and I'll show you how I get that. And thank you to Mighty Car Mods. They actually turboed one of these motors and showed the process of what they had to do for the oil feed lines and the coolant lines. So I'm going to be using their tutorial on this motor specifically so I can get my oil feed lines and coolant lines and hopefully get noticed by Mighty Car Mods. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It is a shitbox, but it's a fun one. This is a different setup than how Mighty Car Mods did it. They actually attached the turbo to the back. They got specific headers for the 2ZR. I'm making my own because I want my unequal length headers still. I want this to sound like a Subaru like it's always been. So I'm going to keep it that way. Because fuck the normal. Fuck the normal. I want this car to be different. And as it is, having a turbo... Oh, it's already different. I mean, but I want my turbo here specifically, one, because it's actually pretty simple to work on. Just unbolt everything and bam, turbo comes out. But don't mind this can. This is just so I can keep this at the angle I need it to. I got to make a new bracket. But this is just to hold everything together. I got to put the battery in the trunk still. That's going to happen. And we'll go from there. Hopefully... in the next week or two, this video is going to go on for a week of me recording. But hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to actually start the car with the turbo in it. So we'll see how that runs. And not blow it up. Because I'm not going to start it and just fucking rev it off the dinger. That's a bad idea.
Back here, so you better not fucking do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, about that. I'll explain the bit later. But yeah. So we're going to keep working on this, get the exhaust set up, and then work on the intercooler. So we're going to have to pull this whole front fascia off, which is actually very simple, luckily. So we'll go from there when I get that done. All right, guys. Well, I got another... Well, I got also two bozos here.
Hey, who you call a bozo, sucker?
Well, either way, as you can see, there's some black piping in here. And as we step away...
Down a fat pipe.
There's a little thingy right here. So I got the intercooler all in, and it's set up where it's got to be. All I got to do now is make sure, per se, this line here, which has been giving me some issues, and one of these lines here isn't giving too many issues, and please don't drop that in there. But yeah, so
That would be terrible.
well, hey, so I'm waiting on one part here. I'm waiting on the silicone pipe to go here. I'm also waiting on my blow-off valve because this is going to get changed. So when the blow-off valve comes in, I'll see what this pipe's going to turn to. When my silicone pipe comes in, I'm going to see what this is going to be. And yes.
What?
So yeah, so we're going to see how that's going to fit. Make sure everything's all set. But this is now in, all marked up. It's all ready to go. I know what part's got to go where, so I'm probably going to actually mark them with something, probably scratch it in, 1, 2, 3, 4 as I go through. But yeah, now we're working on the, like I was doing before, the exhaust outlet for the turbo. But yeah, so we're doing the exhaust outlet for the turbo so we can get this portion on, go back down to where it's got to be, and go from there. I mean, I still have some spare parts left for the intercooler kit, so in case I have to modify anything, which looks like I might have to do some test swelds to try to get this
whole thing modified?
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
hasn't even been touched, and it fits in the car.
Somehow.
No clue how, but it does.
Don't question it.
I won't. So
this is a situation where Jacob got stupid lucky on this occasion.
this will most likely not happen with your car.
Yeah, no, this unless it's like a Honda Civic, this won't work.
Unless it was like, you know, like some car that was made to be a turbo, but it's an NA version of it for whatever reason, then it might work. But
Which this motor is put into Lotus Elises, and they had the same kind of rear mount kits for their intercoolers.
yeah,
But
but
I was trying to tell my father about that.
Yes, the Lotus Elise has the same motor as this.
I said
But-
fucking a different one.
You said the
but this
Exige?
particular car never came in a turbo model, did it?
This one didn't. I believe the Japanese Altis model might have been. With that, don't quote me on that because I'm not quite sure. All I know is the Altis model is amazing, and that's basically what I have this car set up as, because this wing also came from Japan for the Altis models. But yeah, basically this is What?
Nothing. No.
But yeah, so I gotta wait for this coupler, wait for my blow off valve, and wait for my 180. And I know what you guys are doing.
No. Why would we ever Why would we ever mess with you? I don't know what you're talking about. I never do that.
Have an issue, say? It's forward and backward to make this thing go side to side.
Yeah.
Are you? You son of a bitch! Doing that again. You probably saw this in another video way back.
Oh no, this is like, you know, it has to happen.
Every time.
I love how sometimes it just takes you.
It takes me a
forever
second to
figure
realize
out
what's
and
going
how-
on.
Like when you realize
I wake
I'm
up in the morning and I tell myself,
Oh, I gotta cut that out.
and I get real high.
What the hell? Where'd that come from?
don't even you know.
No, I need his voice.
Oh. I'm assuming his voice box.
I'm gonna jump over
Well-
the car and deck it.
So we're gonna continue working on the exhaust section, get that done. Intercooler is basically done, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, guys. Well, we got a lot of headway. So the exhaust is almost done. Main part is to get this done, so I can get it onto the headers, which I pulled out again because I marked up where I got to cut. So I have to cut off of this side here, so I can make the angle to go into the exhaust pipe that curves down like this. Fits in perfect. Just got a couple pinholes I gotta make sure I get. Turbo's almost in, blow off is in. I got my 180 pipe. I gotta try to fit this in here. It's not gonna fit too well, but I gotta make what I got and see if it works. If it works, then I can order the next part that I need to get it to fit perfectly. I got, like I said, actually I didn't even show you this part yet. I got my coolant line set, and as per Mighty Car Mods, what they had did with theirs, with their 2ZR, is they had tapped into their oil pressure sensor, so for their high pressure oil line to go into the top of the turbo, and I'm gonna get this fitting to go into the block where it's gotta be in the back for the oil return line, and hook everything up, oil the turbo, make sure everything's spinning, oil the turbo up, get it in the car, hook everything up, see if the car turns over. If the car turns over and the turbo spools, rev it up a little bit, make sure it's spooling correctly, hook everything up for the intercooler, get all my band clamp, or not band clamps, get all of my intercooler piping clamps on, hook up the blow-off valve, adjust the wastegate, and see what's going on. She's almost there. I never thought I'd make it this far. This Corolla is going to be boosted, and I dreamed of this moment for a long time now, so almost there. I'll show you guys when we start doing the bend on this, get the exhaust hooked up. Once the exhaust is hooked up, I'll show you guys what's going on there, hook in my lines, and see what happens. Well, we're underneath right now because we are taking off the oil pan, because I'm going to have to drill into the back here, which, let me turn on the light. I'm going to have to drill into the back here so I can get the oil return lines back through and into the motor. Nice. You could actually reach that. All right, so I'm gonna get this off and I'll show you what the insides look like. All right, so made some progress. I got the 90 done. It's gonna get a lot cleaner. That's just so we can mark it up. Goes on into the turbo. And then comes out over here. And we just found out that the flexi pipe, which I can't find it, I gotta find, oh, right there. That flexi pipe fits perfectly down underneath there, so we can get it onto the exhaust. So we had to chop off one of these up here. We're gonna replace it down lower, probably move the O2 bung down so I can have a cat in there, and the flexi pipe will go right to this. Just need one extra piece, bring it right into there, weld it up to here. We can put the whole exhaust on. So we're almost there. We're getting there.
What'd you say?
And Dylan's here.
Hi.
So we're almost there. I'm still waiting on the piece for this, the 45 that goes down to
She
here.
ain't moving.
Jay moving?
Yeah.
All right, so
You wanna know how I can tell? Yeah, she ain't moving.
nice. Yeah, so we're gonna cut off this flange here so we can weld on that flange straight to the end of the pipe there. We're gonna weld on the other flange to the next pipe that we gotta add in for the exhaust side, and then we can put the exhaust up back into the car, put it in place, and at this rate, I'm thinking we might be able to turn it on.
Watch it explode.
Don't fucking say that.
Oh, it's going to.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking explode. It's on here. So the bracket, I got that on there. And I'm starting the bracket on here. What I'm gonna do before I finish this is I'm gonna line it up with the rest of the exhaust, see where this lines up. That came out at a 90 to what I wanted it to. I messed up here, but it should fit still. I'll have to see when I put it up. But we'll see how that fits in. Get this up in there. Get that in there. Well, at least before getting that in there, get this in there and see where it lines up. Because I know I'm going to have to cut that short. That's really long. But it's doable. Easy enough. So, get this in. See what this looks like. Get that in. See what it looks like. Go from there. We might actually be able to start the car soon. I got to see how that lines up with my shift cables in. Should be all set. We'll have to see. But this is definitely getting header wrapped because it's a little close. But everything is starting to fit where it's got to. So I just got to wait for my 45 that comes in here for this and see where it lines up. Still hasn't come in yet, but hopefully it comes in soon. All right, guys. Well, this is hooked in. I just got to hook up the bottom of the exhaust now. I just made a piece that fits it. Well, that's right here. This connects to the bottom of that flex pipe you see and brings it to the rest of the exhaust. Once we hook this in and we get it all set up and ready, we're going to grab some jumper cables so we can hook up the battery, plug in the parts for my tuner after we try starting the car to get oil to come through the oil feed here. That's the nitrous line. The oil feed here. So this will go into here, into the turbo. And we'll get oil to come through that first. Make sure that's all set. The light's in the way. We'll have to just move that.
No, it's part of the car now.
Oh, well, it will fit. I already got it on before. But yeah, so we got to see oil coming through that before we hook up the tuner to get the car to start. Once the car starts, we're going to let it sit for a second, let the turbo spool, and see how that reacts.
Yeah, no revving or anything.
No revving, just a little rev just to make sure that it spins up the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, just give her a couple seconds to begin with. Though,
Yeah.
So
Let it
there's
idle. We'll
definitely
tighten
point
down
in
everything. Yeah, tighten down everything. Let it do what it's got to do. And now all I got to do is wait for this part. So I can connect this in, connect that in, route my battery. We're getting there. Yes. And then start cleaning up this mess so I can get this thing to work.
Yeah, Jacob, going.
Screw you. All right. Well, I'm going to continue welding my new piece here so I can get that onto the exhaust, get everything bolted in. Everything's ready to go. And then we'll probably even, you want to feel like wrapping the headers tonight?
Sure.
We'll wrap up the pipes. Yeah. So we'll wrap up the headers. Yeah. Wrap up the headers, get that all nice and done. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Well, I did a bunch of stuff since the last section. And so I redid a ground here for the tuner. Injector's ground's all set. The original stuff that I had before is all set. I got my positive cable hooked up. Everything's hooked up. I just got to seal it. And I just started the car up. And everything works. So I just got to tighten down my headers again because I guess they loosened up a little. So I got to retighten those. But everything's coming out the way it's supposed to. We're almost there. I got the battery routed back to the trunk. So I got my ground cable and I have my positive cable. The exhaust is all hooked up. I just got to do a check down back for oil, make sure the oil's all set, and start to batten everything down, hook up the wastegate the way it's supposed to be, get my boost gauge put in, blow-off valve is all set up and ready to go. My air intake, I actually moved. The air intake is now right down here. So I got to batten everything up, make sure the intake's all set, and I finally have myself a turbo car. It's been a long time coming. Never thought I'd make it this far with this thing. So, all right, I'm going to tighten down everything, get everything so it's all, put my clamps on the intercooler piping. This is just so I can make sure everything's going to fit. It all does. Time for me to tighten everything down and get it all set to go. All right, guys. All right, guys. Well, she's back on the ground. First time in a month. Actually, this video has been going on for a month. Yeah, so you've been seeing my month of turboing this car. So battery box is in the trunk, battery's in. I got to strap it down, make a cover for it. Now that it's on the ground, I tightened up all of my hose clamps for everything intercooler wise. Now I just got to get the boost gauge hooked in. So that is going off of this vacuum here. So when basically what's happening is, at least for the blow off and boost gauge, they're going off of my map sensor. So that gives me the pressure, that gives me the reading that I need to tune the car for. This tells me how much boost I'm pushing. And this here, when I let off the throttle, the intake manifold goes into a vacuum and it pulls on a spring in here and it releases all the air out of this. So that's all of those parts. Now I just got to get inside. Dash is already starting to get torn apart. And I'm going to install this boost gauge here. So here goes nothing. Well, we're moving right along. Boost gauge is in. AFR is reinstalled on the other side now. As you can see, the boost gauge tube goes in, comes out on this side into my map. And now I am starting to put everything back into the car. And I am excited to take it on its first ride here soon. Got a torque demo wheel, make sure my brakes all set, because I changed that as well. Got a new caliper in because my caliper was sticking. After a ride, I'd go to feel the wheel and it would be wicked hot. So I know there was something up with that. So now I'm putting it back together, get everything back to the way it was. You know, can't really say before turbo because now it's after turbo, but putting all the stuff that didn't get modified back in, and we're going to start going from here. All right, guys, it's time to get this thing on the road. Quick update. I just put all the paneling back in, the wipers back in, and she's almost ready to go. So I'm going to finish up the rest of the little parts and turn this thing on and see if we can drive it. Which also means I got to put my shift linkage back in because I have that unhooked right now. Well, she's rolling finally.
Barely.
Yeah, you can see I'm on vacuum right now. But here's the best part. We're hitting boost. We're getting some spoolie boys. My blow off right now isn't working, which is kind of a setback. I know what I gotta do to fix that, but on the other hand, we didn't have to do much to the tune right now. In fact, the tune's actually kind of working if you watch. Like, it's just working. So we're gonna ride around a little bit, make sure everything's broken in, and we're gonna park it for the night. And I got some little things I gotta do tomorrow to it just to make sure everything works right, and we'll go from there. Because so far I'm just stoked that this is working. It even sounds like a Subaru.
Yeah.
I'm barely hitting the gas pedal. This thing's just picking up.
Yeah, a lot more than it used to.
Yeah, this is picking up a lot more than it used to. So stuff's working finally.
Dude, it don't cut off when you hit 3 grand either.
No, it don't.
Which,
what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't noticed that yet,
fuck?
actually.
Why? Why is it when I install a turbo, something that should make my car run like jack shit without a tune, that actually works well for it, is working?
Hey, you said it, not me.
Like, Jackson from Greenhorn, he was literally saying, dude, if this thing works and you don't have to do much to the tune, I'm gonna be pissed. So it looks like he's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, because the scales are pretty normal for the most part.
Yeah, which is not supposed to happen the way this is set up. I'm on my stock injector still too. I haven't even put the 630s in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is just insane. So we're gonna bring it home. I'm gonna get a little get-go so you guys can see this thing pick up, see the speedometer go while we take off. I'm just turning around. But peep my old elementary school. Peep that shithole.
It's a lovely shithole.
Oh yeah. They got a brand new sign. I mean. All right. So if
It's
you want to speed up-
electronic. It's electronic, so it's gotta be fancy.
Right. This thing takes off so good now. It was never this fast before. This is like that speed right there was the speed that my car was like before boost at full press. And this is after boost half press. Like, I could definitely tell that I'm gonna need a new clutch soon, but
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna push it too much. But this is just insane with how nice this is going. I'm so happy.
Oh, I give her a good press.
This is just insane.
Fucking mint.
I have a boosted Corolla. Like, everything that everybody would just be like, those memes, nobody, absolutely nobody. JK Garage 242. Boost the Rolla!
If it's not an A6, I don't care. This guy over here. What the fuck you mean? It's a 2013!
Oh, come on, man. It's just, an AE 130 something.
Yeah.
You know, it's not too bad.
Well, the AE series is over now.
This is still an AE series, I think.
Well, the traditional AE, because the AEs ended at 111.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the AE 130.
Yeah.
But oh my god, 117,000 miles. Let's throw a turbo in. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, that won't fuck up anything.
No.
Hey, doesn't this also have leaky head gaskets to begin with?
Yeah.
Without turbo?
So this car is known to blow head gaskets just like a Subaru. So let me slap a Subaru turbo, put on equal length headers like a Subaru, and just make it even worse.
Yeah. Let's take this good car and make it unreliable.
Unreliable.
This whole journey with this car to begin with, very much. Just to sum it up.
But it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
This is definitely worth it.
It's cool, but absolutely unreliable.
If you ever get hated on for a car that you love, take that hate and just turn it into your motivation. Like, I got hated on so much for this damn car.
You still do.
I still get hated on for
It's
it.
a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. But
it's more of joking hate now, though, because
it's
you
a
put...
piece of shit. Yeah. It got hated on. It still gets hated on by the community. But when it can do that, I'm thinking I just take all of that hate and put it towards my motivation, and bam, I have a turbo.
Yeah. Definitely put a lot of love and passion into this.
If I liked this car probably 3% less than my 220% that I have for love for this car, I would have got a WRX.
Yikes.
But you know, I made my own weird WRX. My front wheel drive weird WRX.
For some reason, it's CRD.
Yeah. I made my TRD to something that nobody asked for. But a lot of people love it, so.
You know, he always says it's Toyota Racing Department.
It's just Toyota retard department.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Though now it's a little less retarded because you got snails in here.
Yeah. You can hear my tires.
I'm just
Studs.
waiting for that hood skip to go flying off now.
Dude, we just.
Because it was gonna go
We just hit
flying
a
off
speed
before.
We should not say
Jesus.
within a matter of seconds.
Oh yeah, just like that route.
Yeah. Yeah, we hit a speed we should not say within a matter of seconds. I can get up the highway speeds like nobody's business right now. Honestly, not gonna lie, when I get this in the boost and I get up to around the 3.5 to 4 grand, this feels like your car.
Yeah.
But I'm at 5 pounds of boost. Imagine when I get it up to like 8. I'm not going to anytime soon, but imagine if when I get this up to like 8.
I know. But I'm already gonna be STI'd swapped it by then.
Oh yeah, you will. So that means I'm gonna have to jump my boost up to 16 to catch you.
Jesus. Really blow out the pistons.
We're spinning tired.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm almost thinking that's what that weird feeling that I might think is the clutch. I'm thinking I might actually be losing grip.
It's possible.
Which, that's insane. I literally, in a matter of like 3 weeks, gained 50 horsepower at the wheel.
That's not true. You didn't put any more stickers on.
That's right, shit. They're right here.
Yeah. Oh, you guys can't
They're
see
right
them.
here.
But yeah.
I need to add my 10 more horsepower.
So you'll hit 60 horsepower.
I need the short throw in this now.
Yeah, you do.
This is getting a little old now already.
Did you tell him about the weight thing?
Oh, yeah. So there's this thing on the trans. It's a counterweight for when you're shifting. It's no longer there. We had to cut it so that I can shift in the second gear.
We'll probably throw a picture up like right here of the piece that's been cut off.
I'll toss a picture up on
Yeah, I was gonna say, show your lovely handiwork.
Yeah.
Sadly, I wasn't around to stop him. So
Connor was there to encourage me.
of course, Connor would encourage you. I feel like Connor.
We were going to check out a Forester XT that could not be inspected. I mean,
That's fair. I mean, to be honest, Connor is the one to poke the bear.
yeah. I mean, he bought a 300,000 mile Chevy 2500.
That's true.
And it's a 6.0, needless to say. The motors that everybody is known to, like, everybody has a 6 slow or a 6 blow. That's what he bought with 300,000 miles.
Jesus.
So, I don't know how that motor is still going.
It's because you don't understand anything about Chevys.
I don't. I know a lot about Ford. I don't know anything about Chevys. Give me an older Ford and I'll be able to do it for you. But give me a newer Ford and I'll say fuck that. Give me any Chevy except if it's below like an 80s Chevy, I'll be able to do something. Because they're similar setups anyways.
Yeah.
It's not a Windsor. It's still a Chevy block, but it's, you know, close enough where it's relatable. Alright. And my brakes are so nice since I did that caliper.
Yeah. You want me to end the video?
What?
End the video?
Yeah.